That was Keith Sweat, I Want Her. So on Friday, the murderers of Ahmaud Arbery received life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now, the father and son, they received life in prison without the possibility of parole. William Waddy Bryant, he will be eligible for parole after 30 years. I am very happy about that. But I make no illusions. I have no illusions of what this means in the grand scheme of America. 3 white men were given the death penalty for killing an unarmed black man. 3 down, hundreds of thousands to go. I don't know what's more rare in America. Black people getting justice for being murdered at the hands of white people, or Halley's Comet. I think all too often in America we look for symbols. Symbols of how far we've come, symbols of how evolved the society we've become. But it is very, very, very rare for people in a jury box or involved in the judicial system to see black people as victims. It is almost impossible. It is amazing that the 3 defendants, the murderers of Ahmaud Arbery, tried to use a law from the 1860s to justify the murder and the execution of Ahmaud Arbery. And the very law they quoted and tried to use was only abolished a few months before the trial began. It's also important to remember that the same murder that we were all grossed out by, we were appalled by, 2 other bureaucrats, 2 other district attorneys saw justifications. They saw nothing wrong with it. To the extent that it was so grossly mismanaged, to the extent that one of them right now, one of those prosecutors, is right now getting ready to go on trial, I think in February. So what does it mean that a jury decided that these 3 men were guilty of murdering a black man? Probably means they had video. Probably means that they had undeniable proof. It probably means that there was no way that they could do it. I don't have, I'd be remiss to say that I'm not happy about the results, but I don't think they mean any more than that jury had evidence that they could not refute. Even before one thing was said, you had people like Candace Owens and people on the right already calling him a criminal, already setting the standard for him being slaughtered and us looking the other way. It was only, and as we all recall, the only reason this trial happened is not because they saw the video, it's because you saw the video. And even now, we still have a case of a young man in North Carolina who was riding on a motorcycle, got into an altercation with another father and son in North Carolina. The father shoots the black man dead. So I think there's a lack of value for the judicial system for our lives. I think that when you look at the fact that the murders of Ahmaud Arbery depended on a law from the 1860s that would have, for hundreds of years, justified what they did. What they did has been done over and over across those countries under the auspices of those same rules. They used a law from the 1860s to justify lynching a black man. Thank God that the judge and the jury were from 2021. There's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. This is the DLG.